Okay everybody, so 2 days ago we built out a beginner portfolio for $1,000, and today, as promised, we're gonna be doing a Degen portfolio for $1,000, or you can adjust it to your own budget, whatever that is, $200, $500, or even 5K. Now it needs to be understood that the assets on this basket are very volatile and also extremely high risk. There's a lot of chances that you can lose money by investing in these. Now our goal obviously is to reach 20 through 30x within the time frame of 12 to 30 months. Now, congratulations to the people who already invested in the beginner portfolio. It is currently up 6% and it hasn't gone under 1,000 even once in these last 48 hours or so. Now, it is not too late to get invested on that. Also, you can split your budget between these two portfolios or allocate 70% to this one and also 30% to the safer one, whatever you basically choose. Now this time around I did use a bit different types of metrics to reason why these assets basically would go up. One of them is to basically contrasting the market caps between the projects compared to top 10 and similar projects in their niche, and also like things, are they listed in Binance, are they listed in Coinbase, which most of these by the way aren't. So there's a lot of like room for growth for a lot of these assets in a lot of ways. So let's get started with our first project, and that is IOTA, which is probably the most highest ranking asset. Is still in top 100. So for it to go 20x is extremely hard, but it's not really that impossible because IOTA is building a lot of things. It has already gone significantly up from its IDO. A lot of people made a significant amount of money. There has been a lot of updates coming around in last year. I talked about the Shimmer stuff, obviously. And there's going to be a lot of releases also happening, like the EVM chain support, which is going to be bringing in a lot of DeFi stuff and a lot of builders, obviously. So that's going to be a big thing for the ecosystem boom. There are a lot of other upgrades which are going to be happening, like seamless protocol upgrades and the Stardust protocol upgrade. So there's a lot of different things like native tokens and NFTs and smart contract chain anchoring and storage deposits and improved microtransactions and everything. Obviously, IOTA's all supply has been already minted out, so it cannot basically inflate more, which is pretty good for the price in my opinion. Not as good as obviously if the asset would be deflating, but that is also a very good thing that there's not just something simply just coming into the market and to the supply. So, and there's a lot of other upgrades like scaling, assembly, and the IOTA 2.0 upgrade. So I like the roadmap here. I like what they're doing, and the tokenomics for the most part are pretty solid. Now moving on, actually, yeah, we have to add into our portfolio here. So here we're going to have already the Degen portfolio, and we're going to be adding $150 worth of IOTA. So I'm going to be upping that there from the list. And there is 9 assets in this whole portfolio. So most of them are going to be $100 investments. However, there's going to be 2 assets which are going to be, or 1 asset which is going to be $150, and that is IOTA, which is the highest allocation that we're adding here. And then we're going to be basically adding out 2 assets which are going to be $125. Okay, let's add in here. I wish there was a way to just add more simply and things. And obviously the fluctuating number here is going to be changing as we are adding these assets. So the next asset on our list is Cadena, and I've talked about this in great length already in the channel. There is a very, very big push to kill all proof of work coins, and there has been a significant drop of those in the top 100, for example. I think in the past couple of, like 2019, we had like 19 different proof of work coins. Now it has dropped into around like 8 or something, and coins like Zcash and Doge have been moving to transition into proof of stake. So there's going to be a less profitable coins to mine, and it's just going to be not very profitable with all these electricity hikes to mine these shit coins which have no volume, no exchanges, nothing. But Cadena is like proof of work royalty alongside with Bitcoin in my opinion. So this is a very, very strong coin which I fundamentally believe in altogether. And there's a lot of updates which they're going to be pushing out in 23. So they have something going on. There's a lot of projects which don't have roadmaps for this year and beyond. And they're going to be building out new tools, resources, and tutorials for onboarding new developers, which is very important. There's a lot of dApps already, and we have to probably cover those a lot more on the channel in this year. And then there's going to be the back upgrade, which is improving the smart contract language and UX experience and user experience. And then there's going to be this chain web thing, which enhances the blockchain's efficiency, scalability, and also decentralization. So these are things that I kind of like. And we're going to be allocating $100 to Cadena. I could also like maybe even make the argument that Cadena has very, very good opportunities to go up, because it's significantly down from its all-time high, which was what? $28. So this is 28x roughly to get back into its all-time high, and it's having a halving every single year. So actually I could even make the argument that you could put more than $100 into Cadena altogether. So or you can put 150 in case you have less faith in IOTA. But let's add that to our portfolio here. But Cadena is definitely, if I had like one proof of work coin to basically invest in, that probably would be my prime pick. And then we have a project called LookSo, and this is kind of like a fashion NFT type of a project. It's quite lower market cap, which makes it a very lucrative option. And there's development overviews. I believe they're going to be launching the mainnet soon. I think the female COO or CEO has been in like Vogue and different types of things. So they're like pushing out that fashion stuff in the NFT spectrum, which is very good, because I think there's going to be a lot more women onboarded slowly into crypto, and they're going to be very interested in that fashion stuff. But obviously this could be a project which only like peaks in very late of this time frame of 30 months that I've been given out. I do believe that okay, there might be a chance that LookSo is going to be coming around a bit more later, but I kind of like this project, and it has been performing reasonably well. So let's add $100 worth of LookSo into our portfolio. It's currently at rank 229, sitting at roughly at $9, and its all-time high was at $97. So it's over 10 times down from its previous high. And so there's a lot of room for growth, in my opinion, especially if it will become mainstream. But obviously with these NFTs, there's so much competition going on, and like many different aspects which can have an impact on the competition and everything like that. And that's something we need to fundamentally understand about all of these. As I was saying, we don't know what new blockchains are going to be launching in the next 12 months or 24 months, and those can basically rock the situation from the current point where we're at. So that's something we need to fundamentally understand about the threats here of the situation. Next up we have Casper, which is basically a direct ETH competitor, and they have already done the mainnet launch, and they have a lot of updates that happened on end of Q4, and they are doing obviously updates for the upcoming year as well. And there are things like improved consensus mechanism, unified accounts, unified contracts, open validator model. So basically these guys have built it out what Ethereum is going to be building out in 1 or 2 years already. So it's a very interesting project in my opinion, and there's a lot of potential here. It's also a stakeable asset, and it's quite down from its previous high here. I think we are at what is the ranking right now, 87. So this is also going to high rank here. It's currently sitting at 3 cents, and all-time high was at $1.36. So 10x would be what, 30 cents, and 20x, no, now I'm reading these numbers right. But what I'm saying is, if it reaches back time the all-time high, it's a lot of significant gains for Casper. So that's pretty good. But obviously there is a bit of an inflation also on this asset, which is not something I'm super fond of, but okay, it's fine because I'm staking my assets, so I'm benefiting of that. So let's add Casper to our portfolio here. And this is also something I wanted to add on my previous video, but it was not available on Coinbase, so it was basically discarded from that list. So that's also something that I like about these assets, that they're not widely super available on all these places. Next up we have Render Token, something we have talked about many times on the channel. And with this whole ChatGPT revolution and all of these AI generator things, you are going to be needing computing power. ChatGPT is constantly down because there's too many users using it. It just can't have the computational power. So at some point there's going to be a lot of these entities in the world, like Hollywood, which already partnered. I think J.J. Abrams is involved in Render Token as an advisor or something. And basically, there's going to be a lot more entities which are going to be tapping into that decentralized computation, and they're going to be like, it's a good revenue model. Basically, there will be interest for getting into this rendering, and then there's some like burn mint equilibrium stuff that they are building out. And there isn't exactly a roadmap, but here in this post they specifically talk about what they're going to be building out and the technology in general. And there's a bit of like a roadmap that they build it out. And it's Doc's team and a lot of influential people involved. There's some stuff that has been rendered before with the tools. And it just has to become more mainstream, and I think there's going to be a lot more interest for the computational power with these AI things. So it will be a more growing market going on. So let's go for render, and I think render is also significantly down from its all-time high. So it's 60 cents right now, sitting at 159. It's 93% down from $8. So I obviously believe 10x would be $6. So it would have to go like $12 for it to reach 20x return here, and that would be actually quite sweet in my opinion. So I think that's definitely doable. So let's get $100. Actually, $125 I have allocated for this one because I think this is a very established project. So let's add render to our portfolio here. Another very strong asset, very available on many different things. Okay, what happened here? Render token. There we go. Quantity and at transaction. And then we're going to be moving into our next project. We're going to be adding out a privacy coin, and that is Secret Network, which is one of the very few privacy related chains that actually have smart contract capabilities, which is a bullish thing. Also, it's part of the Cosmos chain ecosystem. So in case Cosmos is going to be doing well, there has been a bit of conflict in the Cosmos ecosystem with the updates and everything, but Secret is a big part of the whole ecosystem, and I think Secret is building out a lot of things. Here is their roadmap of like Q4 and Q1. Like, look at how many updates there are going to be by multiple different protocols and by Secret Labs. But not all of these are upgrades, and there's a lot of there's like hard forks coming out and different things. Private storage, a lot of interesting things. Secret may not have the best UX, in my opinion, but I think it's just kind of still undervalued. It just doesn't have the status of Monero, but in a lot of ways, it is better than Monero. It just has, in some aspects, better privacy, and Monero's problem always will be there's always that counterparty risk because we're not able to exchange Monero into other assets, and you can bring actually wrapped Monero into Secret Network, which is actually kind of cool. So Secret Network is another one that we're going to be acquiring into our portfolio, and I think the valuation is pretty good here. So we're sitting at 80 cents, and I think we were at like $10 peak. So going back over, back to $10 would be already like 11-12x from the current valuation. And Secret does have a lot of like room for growth. Obviously, it does have an inflation curve, which is not that great, but obviously I'm still bullish for new all-time highs for the markets altogether. So I think Secret will be doing very well, especially if the Cosmos ecosystem will face some type of a bump going on. So let's add Secret here. 124. Okay, this is like annoying. I just clicked it and it's not adding it. And let's move into our next project, or the second last project here, or actually third. I can't even do math. So we have Radix. Radix is very low market cap right now, which I like about it. Project that I've known about some time now, but I have not invested. I still don't have a bag. Probably after this video, I'm going to be acquiring it, or I'm going to be looking for a dip in the next month or so for it. And there's a lot of things that Radix is doing. They have a big roadmap here. As we scroll down, here's a lot of the use cases for this, what they're doing, what are being built out on the ecosystem, and then the staking inflation return, which is roughly around 9%, which is it's kind of high, but not super high. There's so many coins which have around 12%. That is a very average on POS. But look at the team. People are involved in here. We've got Microsoft, we've got Visa, we've got UBS here, NVIDIA, T-Mobile, and Consensus. So a lot of cool stuff there. And these are the things that they are building out in the future. Alexandria, actually that's already built out. So we've got Babylon, self-incentivizing DeFi ecosystem, and decentralized royalty systems, very interesting. Then we have the Xeon update, unlimited scalability, composability for DeFi. And also, I think there was a token burn, which is what I like. So there's a deflation happening on the asset. And that's something I really, really like. So there's some type of a fight against the actual inflation that happens. So more users, more DeFi that is built out, more transactions will happen on Radix, which will basically build out a lot more burn. So there's a fixed token supply of 24 billion, and that will be not reached at least in 40 years. And during that time, we're going to be seeing a lot of deflation, which is very good. So we're going to be adding out $125 worth of Radix into our portfolio. There are certain assets which are only 70% down, and that's not like a very great buying opportunity. So we are like 93% down. We're currently at 4 cents, and we were at 65 cents. So going 10x would be 40 cents. So this is almost like 12, 13x already. If it reaches $1, that would be like what, 40x or something crazy. It's actually 33x or something. So that would be very, very nice, guys. So I actually have a lot of faith on Radix. I don't know whether it's just a bump. Is somebody watching my video? I don't know. This is not obviously live. Okay, and next up we have a game project. Okay, so and this is called the Phantom Galaxies, and their token is called Astafer. Now, as I kind of talked about on the previous video, you need to have diverse portfolio, which consists of DeFi, blockchains, some AI niches. We got all of that in this portfolio. We got privacy coins, we got everything. Now, obviously, the two last coins in this project are going to be game fee projects, because game fee is going to be probably coming back again with the metaverse stuff, and Phantom Galaxies is going to be launching their game actually on Q1, so in the next 2 or 3 months. And when you look at these footages here, I've seen the gameplay. It's really high end. This is like, could be a AAA level. Maybe some of the graphics, like in some other AAA games, could be like a bit higher, but like, damn, this is some really high end quality stuff here that I'm seeing. And this definitely could blow up in Japan, then it could blow up in Korea, and then it could be like, you know, dialing up to the West. And I think with the tokens you can buy like planets and different types of stuff. Obviously, a lot of game free projects have kind of shitty tokenomics, and there's not like burning mechanisms and different like things like that. But that's just kind of the way it is. Like, if there's going to be a deflation on the this is a very low, this is rank 533. This is the lowest asset that we have on this list right now. It's a very new asset also, so it's only 57% down from the all-time high of $4. But it's such a low market cap project though, that there's a lot of room for growth for this. And because of that, and if the game blows up, like something like the next Alien Worlds or something, this could be very, very huge. This could be a top 100 project in any time, in a very, very, very short time period. So you could potentially add more than $100 of valuation or investment in this one. But we have to see, as I said, these game fee projects always have kind of a bit of risk in terms of their valuations. Some have seen absolutely brutal drops like ILV and things like that. So that's why I'm a bit hesitant of allocating more than $100 into Astafer. And the last project on the list will be Ultra, which I've talked about plenty of times on the channel before because I really like their concept, which basically is to build out a competitor for Steam and Epic Games, where you basically own your games. This is AA games and AAA games, whether it's Call of Duty or whatever, as an NFT. And you have the ability to trade it or sell it after a certain time of period. And assets that you own in the games can also be tokenized very easily. And there's a lot of other things that are basically laid out on their initial white paper. And Ultra, has been doing fairly well in my opinion, but I think they have been kind of slow at their development and launching their actual platform, which is like already functional. You can already buy the games with UOS, or you can also buy with real fiat dollars as well. And they just need to like finish out that platform and release the beta version of it. Obviously, they just kind of launched their full mainnet, but they also have to bridge that into Osmosis, have the liquidity things, have the accessibility through DeFi and these other protocols with the UOS token, which is something that I truly desire. And they have been focusing a lot on NFTs last year, which is something that should be a bit of a side project in my opinion. This should not be their focus because these don't really have a lot like actual utility, at least not yet. So I fundamentally think that they just have to go back into what they were initially about and really focus on that and deliver the product. US is actually, when we actually go into the valuation of it, it is quite significantly down, so it's currently sitting at 21 cents, and at its peak, it was at $2.46. And yes, you going up 10x would take us back into $2 roughly. So going back to 2.4 would be roughly like 12x or something. So I think there's a lot of room for growth to go into $3 to $4 valuation for Ultra, because that's how big the project could be and its revenue and everything that they're building. I think they have a very good YouTube channel where they do a lot of regular updates. So I think there's a lot of potential, and we're going to be allocating $100. Basically add more if you want to, in case you're really interested in this one, because this has a lot of like very much like upside potential if they manage to do more of these grand partnerships, which they have already done with Bandai Namco and Ubisoft for one. And that kind of basically concludes our portfolio here, which is $1,000. So to kind of recap here on 9 coins: IOTA $150, Radix $125, Render Token $125, Ultra $100, Astafair $100, LookSo $100, Secret Network $100, Cadena $100, and Casper $100. Now, thanks for watching, and please make sure to understand this is a very high risk investment. I mean, we are already technically down $7 here. That is because the conversion rates are not actually 1-to-1. And obviously, if you have any questions about these projects and coins, you can find all the exchange links where to buy them in the description. And obviously, it will help me if you sign up on those exchange with those links. And we're obviously going to be, following this portfolio and the beginner portfolio in days to come and see how they will be performing for the long term. So thanks for watching. I will be seeing you in the next video. Cheers.